Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Dark Crisis, The Deadly Green, number one. This is such an interesting premise, just a really cool one shot. Let's talk about the creative team before we get into this book. So, this book is written by Ramvi, Alex Paknadel, and Dan Waters, with art by Dan Bayliss, Tom Derenick, George Kambadais, and Brent Peeples, colors by Matt Herms, and letters by Troy Peteri. And here you get a little introduction into this world as to what Pariah has done. This is all a tie-in to the Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths event. Let me read you a quick synopsis, and then I'll tell you a little bit about what I thought of this book. Superman and Swamp Thing uncover the secrets of the Great Darkness. During the original Crisis of Infinite Earths, Swamp Thing encountered and formed a truce with the Great Darkness, but this ancient force has been awakened by Pariah, and now its influence is felt across the multiverse. Now the Avatar of the Green must work together with new allies to investigate how far it spread and why it would work with Pariah. If they want to stop the Great Darkness from swallowing the Green, they need some extra help. Enter Super Swamp Thing. This is a really cool design. I don't know if I have preview pictures for it, but you may have seen it floating around on the internet. Um, it's almost like a fusion in Dragon Ball. But let's take a look at some preview art. And actually, before we get into that, I do want to mention my one qualm about this book is that the there were too many artists on this book. I think to me it didn't feel like it served a purpose. Although there are different stages which we go through in the journey, um, it felt to me more of a filling thing where maybe some pages weren't getting done. And although each artist, I think, could have carried this book on their own, the fact that the art does change throughout the book was a little jarring to me. That being said, it did not deter from the story. I think the story is really fun. I think what the writers have done here, the way they tied all this into the Dark Crisis, was a really fun way to do so. But sometimes I just gotta tell you guys how I felt when I was reading these things. So there it is. Now let's take a look at some preview art. The other thing is I am not good enough to recognize which artist is drawing what, so you have to kind of reference. DC is pretty good about telling you which pages are drawn by whom. But yeah, here we see uh, Obsidian and his sister arriving into to meet the Justice League, or what remains of the Justice League, Swamp Thing, and everybody that's trying to help. So they do come up with a plan. As you can see here, this is the credits page. Here we see these are the pages drawn by Dan Bayliss, and kind of we go from there. But yeah, I mean, I like the premise a lot. I like to see the legacy heroes like the Justice Society. We see a Green Lantern here working with some of the younger heroes. Superman, John Kent. We see Raven there from the Titans, which the Titans are a big part of everything that's going on in Dark Crisis. If you're reading issue 5 this week, and yeah, they come up with a plan, and the ring is going to help. It's going to be kind of the what helps Swamp Thing get to the next level. You'll see some of the covers in the back that'll give you a little bit of a spoiler, I guess. But yeah, the way Superman works with Swamp Thing to reach the Great Darkness and figure out what's going on, it's really really cool. Now, actually, when I was reading this, I started reading Dark Crisis number 5 first, and then there was an editor's note to check out the Deadly Green. So I stopped in that page, went to read the Deadly Green, and then came back to finish Dark Crisis. I guess I would recommend you read the Deadly Green first, but you can also do it the way I did it, where you get to that one page, go to the other comic, which is really weird, and then come back. I think that worked out as well. So I'm really enjoying this event. I really like this is one of my favorite tie-ins. Just Swamp Thing is such an interesting character, specifically working with people that he doesn't normally work with. Uh, and Ramvi's been writing Swamp Thing for a little while, and I think Waters and Paknadel also bring in their own. Like these guys are kind of writing a lot of the books currently at DC, so they have a really big stake. They have a lot of stake here, so really really enjoy this book. Other than the thing I talked about, the art, I think this is a fun issue. And yeah, I really do wonder what it would have been like if the same artist had just done the whole issue. But as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.